Hi, it is Rebecca Reinking, speech pathologist, and welcome to one of our therapy session breakdown series. This is where we tell you what our therapy approach was, what our goal was, and then we share with you all of the activities that we did within our session to get high correct practice trials. And today I'm going to share with you what we did in our 60-minute session using the cycles approach. And our first pattern was velar fronting. So our whole session focused on words that started with the k sound in initial position. This is what we did. So our first activity involved boom cards. Now, boom cards are from a platform called Boom Learning, and all I did is I clicked on it and it brings up a card deck like this. And what's great about this deck is I can actually email this deck for free to the parents, and they have 14 days access, so they can do this at home for home practice. Now, we went to the scenes and there are 5 target words. We've got words like key, we have call, cup, cow, and so on. And there are 10 opportunities on each page. So 10 opportunities for 5 pages, that's 50 practice trials. So that's how many practice trials we got in this. So the child would say cow and the cow would disappear in the barn. And then we'd go to the other target words. For activity number 2, we got down on the floor. My child said to me, can we play with the cars? I really want to play with the cars. And because car starts with a k and we were doing K initial, I said, sure, let's do it. So I grabbed out all of my cars and I have 30 of them. So this was an activity where we got 30 practice trials, and I simply drove the cars over to the child, they caught them and they drove them to the mat. And what they enjoyed doing was trying to find a colour that matched the colour of the car. So if they got a pink car, they drove and they tried to find something pink on the mat. And it's nice to get a break from the table and to come down and do something with a focused word as well, like a real block activity on one word, just to really emphasize and get that idea of how to make a clear k sound. Now, activity number 3 involved these little mini objects from Speech Tree Co. I got them from their fronting cycles pack. And what I like about them is that for each of the targets, like cow and key, you have 3 little minis. So what we did is we got all these minis and we hid them in kinetic sand. So we'd say the target word maybe 2 or 3 times, and then we'd hide all of these little mini things and we covered them up so that the child couldn't see it. And I really like using my setup time to get practice in. So I could have just hidden them all and the child would not have practiced them, but because we practiced as we hid and then we said them again when we found them, I just got double the amount of practice in. So we got about 60 practices just using this. And the fun part was once everything was hidden, we got a paintbrush and we just poked and we got to see if we could find what the treasure was, and we'd say that target word again. Now, our 4th activity was from the K Fronting Cycles Approach packet. These have a lot of high practice pages in colour and black and white, and we decided to use this page here. It's really fun because of all the target words we have up the top here. There are 15 pictures that are hidden. So we pulled out our dabbers and we tried to find 15 keys and 15 cups and 15 cows, and we got 45 practices in this. We didn't finish this off, but that's fine. The child can do it from homework and they can get more practices in at home with this sheet. Now, for our phonological awareness activity, I really wanted to incorporate some discrimination and just being able to hear or perceive K sounds and T sounds, so k and t in different words. So I had these little bins and we talked about front sounds and back sounds. I really like to explain the rule to my kids of what we're working on. So k is a sound that is at the back, our tongue's at the back, and t is a front sound. And so I have all of these cards, and they're actually minimal pair cards, But the purpose of this was just to hear if the child could hear the difference, and they would put the right card in the right bin. So when we said key, they weren't expected to say anything. They were just judging whether they heard a back sound or a front sound. So if they heard the back sound, they'd point to this one, they could open it up and put the card in the bin. And then we did T. And so this was just a really nice way for me to know that the child was correctly perceiving and hearing the difference between those two words. And it also reinforced that fronting pattern that we were addressing in our cycles approach. So I hope you enjoyed that cycles therapy session breakdown. Let me know what other therapy approaches or sounds or patterns you'd like to see a therapy session breakdown for. As usual, our goal is to get fun, engaging, but high practice sessions and show you how you can achieve this with your students. Please like and comment if you found this helpful, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the series.